Anyone whose goal is something higher must expect someday to suffer vertigo. What is vertigo? Fear of falling? No, vertigo is something other than fear of falling. It is the voice of the emptiness below us which tempts and lures us. It is the desire to fall, against which, terrified, we defend ourselves. But when the strong were too weak to hurt the weak had to be strong enough to leave. The Greek word for return is nostos. Algos means suffering. So nostalgia is the suffering caused by an unappeased yearning to return. In the sunset of dissolution, everything is illuminated by the aura of nostalgia, even the guillotine. A person who longs to leave the place where he lives is an unhappy person. People are always shouting, they want to create a better future. It's not true. The future is an apathetic void, of no interest to anyone. The past is full of life, eager to irritate us, provoke and insult us, tempt us to destroy or repaint it. The only reason people want to be masters of the future is to change the past. The goals we pursue are always veiled. A girl who longs for marriage, longs for something she knows nothing about. The boy who hankers after fame has no idea what fame is. The thing that gives our every move, its meaning is always totally unknown to us. There is a certain part of all of us that lives outside of time. Perhaps we become aware of our age only at exceptional moments, and most of the time we are ageless. Chance and chance alone has a message for us. Everything that occurs out of necessity, everything expected, repeated day in and day out, is mute. Only chance can speak to us. I was not a hypocrite, with one real face and several false ones. I had several faces, because I was young and didn't know who I was or wanted to be. Indeed, the only truly serious questions are ones that even a child can formulate. Only the most naive of questions are truly serious. They are the questions with no answers. A question with no answer is a barrier that cannot be breached. In other words, it is questions with no answers that set the limit of human possibilities, describe the boundaries of human existence. True human goodness, in all its purity and freedom, can come to the fore only when its recipient has no power. Mankind's true moral test, its fundamental test, which is deeply buried from view, consists of its attitude towards those who are at its mercy, animals. We pass through the present with our eyes blindfolded. We are permitted merely to sense and guess at what we are actually experiencing. Only later, when the cloth is untied, can we glance at the past and find out what we have experienced and what meaning it has. Sometimes, you make up your mind about something, without knowing why, and your decision persists by the power of inertia. Every year, it gets harder to change. The greater the ambiguity, the greater the pleasure. The worth of a human being lies in the ability to extend oneself, to go outside oneself, to exist in and for other people. Without realizing it, the individual composes his life according to the laws of beauty even in times of greatest distress. It does take great maturity to understand that the opinion we are arguing for is merely the hypothesis we favor, necessarily imperfect, probably transitory, which only very limited minds can declare to be a certainty or a truth. Jealousy isn't a pleasant quality, but if it isn't overdone, and if it's combined with modesty, apart from its inconvenience, there's even something touching about it. A worker may be the hammer's master, but the hammer still prevails. A tool knows exactly how it is meant to be handled, while the user of the tool can only have an approximate idea. The purpose of the poetry is not to dazzle us with an astonishing thought, but to make one moment of existence unforgettable, and worthy of unbearable nostalgia. Living, there is no happiness in that. Living, carrying one's painful self through the world. But being is happiness. Being, becoming a fountain on which the universe falls, like warm rain. A man who loses his privacy loses everything. And a man who gives it up of his own free will is a monster. The degree of slowness is directionally proportional to the intensity of memory. The degree of speed is directionally proportional to the intensity of forgetting. Humanity's true moral test, its fundamental test, consists of its attitude towards those who are at its mercy, animals. And in this respect humankind has suffered a fundamental debacle, a debacle so fundamental that all others stem from it. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, a man lives a sad life when he cannot take anything or anyone seriously. You think that just because it's already happened, the past is finished and unchangeable? Oh no, the past is cloaked in multicolored taffeta, and every time we look at it we see a different hue. Our dreams prove that to imagine, to dream about things that have not happened, is among mankind's deepest needs. We've known for a long time that it was no longer possible to overturn this world, nor reshape it, nor head off its dangerous headlong rush. There's been only one possible resistance, to not take it seriously. Kitsch causes two tears to flow in quick succession. The first tear says, "How nice to see children running on the grass." The second tear says, "How nice to be moved, together with all mankind, by children running on the grass."